Welcome to the best damn MMA podcast you've never heard of. My name is Motivated Andy. This is the No Name MMA show. Sorry for the technical difficulties. Things have happened. It's all Juan's fault, which we will get to right now. Let's go, Juan. Where are you? Thank you for joining us on this lovely March, 16th? 16th. It's actually really, really shit out there. But, Juan, look at you.
Yeah.
How have you been?
Good. I started watching that documentary that you recommended, Tickled.
Yeah?
It's alright so far. It's
How
weird.
far did you get into it?
They just went to, the guys who did the documentary just went to America and visited those three guys at the place that they're tickling other guys. I don't know.
Okay.
But you know what I'm talking about? Like they.
Yeah.
So right there, and then that's it.
Okay.
Pretty interesting so far. I watched the trailer after I got done watching that part, and I was trying to find the part where you said that where you told Nina, "All right, turn off the trailer, go ahead and put on the movie." I didn't. Nothing in the trailer
excited you like that?
Yeah. I mean, it was definitely interesting, but it wasn't excitement like that. You know what I'm saying?
Bruh, no, that was like mad. I don't know. I recommend everybody. Juan, what is your experience so far?
It's definitely worth watching. It's very interesting.
There you go.
Very interesting. Definitely worth watching.
Right. So, yeah.
But exciting, I think is the right word.
Yeah. Well, don't talk until you finish it. Just trust me, and everybody else, go ahead, check out Tickled. I promise you. HBO Max. Check that shit out. I've been telling my coworkers and stuff to check it out, so I can't wait for them to be like shocked as shit. I'm telling you, man, this is gonna be fucking good. We're gonna be talking about UFC's return to London today. It marks 3 years since Jorge Masvidal knocked the shit out of Darren Till on UFC London. But yeah, today marks 3 years. This weekend it's going to be the return to UFC London. And per Paul Craig, he's thinking that they're going to have multiple ones over there. We're going to be talking about that. I don't know about back-to-back, but he said multiple. So we'll see how that is.
It makes sense for it to be multiple just because this year, you know, the restrictions are lightening up this year heavily. So.
Well, apparently there's like a new wave, so I don't know.
We'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens. But yeah, we also had UFC Fight Night Vegas 50 this past weekend with Ankalaev and also Thiago Santos. Thiago Santos again with a very lukewarm performance, I guess. Yeah. Ankalaev is a really good fighter. He did take him to a decision, which I thought it was going to be a finish, but you know, it is what it is.
Yeah, there's no reason. There's no reason for that not to be a finish off either one of them. Thiago Santos is just holding back too much. Anyways, we can get to that later.
But yeah, so have you watched Batman yet, Juan? What was your weekend like?
What did I do this past weekend? Friday. I did not watch it. I haven't watched Batman yet, but I'm going to. I'll probably do it tomorrow or Friday or sometime this weekend.
Bro, you're disappointing me, man.
Well, you know, I don't even go to the movies like that anymore. It's like, if anything, it should have been on HBO. You know what I'm saying? Like, the movies.
Bro, no. The movie theater. Dude, I'm telling you, we watched it in Dolby Digital, like the hottest shit or whatever.
Yeah.
And that shit was so fucking good. Well, I mean, I don't know. You'll have to watch it.
And then I also, one of the things that's preventing me to the reason why I keep pushing it back is that I saw some reviews on it, and it was they're not bad reviews, but they're definitely disappointing reviews, and therefore I don't, to save myself the disappointment. You know what I'm saying? So I'm definitely gonna watch it. I just haven't got the chance to, but you know, just spent time with my girlfriend and everything this past weekend, so that's pretty much it. Yeah.
All right. Well, yeah. Well, that's what Nina and I did. We went, we saw that shit. She had a wedding. She's currently at a meeting. It is prime wedding season, so it is what it is. She didn't say anything to you guys, so you know.
Did you like the
whatever.
Batman movie? Exactly.
You'll have to watch it,
Exactly.
bro. You'll have to watch it. You'll have to watch it.
No, see,
I'm not trying to corrupt your mind. I'm not trying to incept you.
all
So
I'm
yeah,
saying,
just watch it and make up your mind.
all I'm saying is, for a split second, you had a face that I recognize, and it tells me that the movie was I.
What do you mean? Nah. I mean,
We'll talk about it
I
afterwards.
don't know. But all right, so no Batman for you, Batman for me. That was pretty much the weekend. Besides Elden Ring and that spring forward shit. But yeah,
did you?
off the one.
I've been seeing a bunch of posts about that, the spring forward shit. That in
Yeah.
2023, the bill has been passed, but if it becomes a law, then
Well, Senate passed it, but it still needs to go through the Congress.
I'm just saying,
So
it's
until
probably
it
gonna
goes,
happen. I think it'll go through. I think because there's no reason, you know, like everybody
right?
likes.
We're not farmers. Like, what the fuck? We don't give a fuck. It's sorry, not sorry. I don't care. I don't like that shit. So it would be dope. But yeah, Juan is now gonna do the no name of the week. Who's the no name of the week? It has to be the guy that I'm thinking of, right?
I can't pronounce his name. Do you know how to pronounce his name?
Uh,
Are you talking about the knee?
yeah, it was the knee.
Yeah. The guy who threw the knee.
Azamat Murzakanov.
Yeah.
Azamat Murzakanov. Sorry if I'm butchering it, but you know, it is what it is. Hey, coaches says 10 out of 10, man.
Yeah.
That's what coaches says. But yeah. So I mean that would be my pick, but
it's definitely my pick as well, because that knee was absolutely nasty. Like, it looked like it killed him for a second. It was not
100%.
So we had multiple submissions throughout the night, and I was looking at those as well. But that the knee to the face is just one of the most beautiful disasters that can happen in an octagon. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
we'll see. I hope he looks a bit older. I don't know how old he is, but he looks a bit older, and he's undefeated. So I'm excited for him.
All right. But yeah. Mutual respect. Azamat Murzakanov. So salute you to the violence, and thank you for putting out first fight of the prelims. Holy shit. And it was a great fucking card, and we will get into it for a second. But is that it for the no name of the week?
Yeah. Yes, it is.
All right. So now that Nina's not here, for those of you that are listening to the podcast, it's just me and Juan. But yeah, I'm going to do the MMA Minute. So first, Juan, what is left for Marias? So Marias has now been knocked out 4 of the last 5 times, or 5 of the last 5 fights, something like that. What is left for him? What does Marlon do now? Go to the Eagle FC, get paid, and I don't know, man.
Yeah, I think there's like 3 options I guess he could do. Obviously, he could become a gatekeeper for the division, beating really lower ranked guys, which I don't think he will be fond of doing. I don't think it's something that he'll want to do. For him,
Right.
for a lot of these fighters, if they're not fighting the very best, they don't want to do it. You know what I'm saying? Um, but that being said, if he wants to stay in the UFC in general, being a gatekeeper is kind of, the move right now. That being said, I am for him retiring. I I don't see him becoming champion. I don't think he's making a huge amount of money. I think he's making a lot of money, but I don't think
Yeah.
he's making like a huge amount for him to be worth staying. So I definitely think he should retire. Just one of those other legends to leave the UFC and pass the torch on, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
And then the last option is go to something like PFL or Bellator.
Hmm.
Again, just go ahead and call it. Save yourself from future damage.
Yeah.
Live the life that you're living with the money that you've made with your family and stuff. So I don't know, man. It's not like he's fighting bad either. He's
Yeah.
not. He's getting caught, and these other fighters are just a little bit faster, a little bit. Marlon isn't too old. He's not even really old, but
Right.
I think we're seeing I've said this over and over again. We're seeing new levels of fighters. We're
Right.
seeing these fighters that are coming in to the
Right.
UFC now are having a higher fighting IQ earlier in their careers compared to what some of these legends had at that point in their career
Right.
whenever they were the newcomers. And
Right.
so it's only MMA's fighter skills are only going up from here. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So I think if Marlon stays in the UFC, he's going to have a
Yeah.
very difficult time, just like he has been. So I think he should retire. I think that's the move.
Yeah. Cheeto Vera feels the same way. And to be honest, after getting KO'd again so quickly,
Yeah.
I think that's the factor where, maybe it is time. Maybe I don't know. It's tough. And that's crazy because this is like around the 2-year mark that he fought Henry Cejudo.
Mm-hmm.
So 2 years flies by, man. And I don't know.
You saw him
It's
take
just
off his
tough.
glove.
Yeah, he took off his gloves after the fight.
I
Yeah,
think
I don't
I
know.
think he was going to retire right then, but his team was like, "Yo, let's talk about this. Let's figure some stuff out."
Right.
And then he was like, "All right, all right." But well, his team should be looking out not only for him, but
Right.
to be seeing the future of the UFC. And I see the future of the UFC as more and more dominant fighters earlier and earlier on.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. I mean, we are coming to the next generation of UFC fighters. Tony Ferguson, 36. Conor McGregor, 30 something like that. 36, 37. Uh, Nate Diaz, fucking Dustin Poirier, Beneil Dariush. Like,
Cardi,
we're talking about a
Cardi.
lot of the top 10 that are really fucking, like, right at the edge. I mean, they're above 35, right? Um, so yeah, you're right. I mean, and that's just 155. I mean, if you consider 135, 145, I mean, even heavyweight, like heavyweight's perpetually old. Light heavyweight, same deal. Like we're gonna start seeing the shed of these marquee names, and now the new ones like Adrian Yanez and Kevin Holland, those are the ones that are gonna be showing out. But no, I 100% agree. Moving on from that, Aspen Ladd still wants to fight against the Karen of MMA. I'm putting air quotes. Misha Tate. what do you feel about that? Because I have a certain opinion, but I want to know how you feel about it.
Miesha Tate lost her last fight, correct?
Yeah.
But she destroyed in her previous 2 fights. I still don't think Miesha Tate is a person to mess with.
Right.
I think that for the women's division, the problem with me is that I feel like, now I don't know if this applies to Aspen or not, but you can only call out the same fighter so many times. You know what I'm saying? And with the women's division being so small, it's like they don't have the choice but to. You know what I'm saying? So anytime I think about the women's division, anytime I think about any women fighters, the first thing that comes to mind is not enough.
Right.
And so for Miesha Tate, being the fighter that she is and going through the lineup that she has fought, how many did Aspen win her last fight?
No. It was I think Norma Dumont.
Well, actually,
she threw like 20 punches in 25 minutes.
It's really bad. But that being
he landed that, or I don't know. It was terrible.
That being said, though, Miesha Tate, she was on her way to getting to the championship, and then she lost.
Right.
So, even though Aspen just had a very bad match, not that beating Aspen gets you a championship.
Yeah.
But for her to get back on the winning column, I think it would be good for her.
Okay. That's fair. I don't know, like, Miesha Tate is going down to 125. It was just confirmed by, I think, ESPN. It's getting moved to July 2nd, if I'm remembering correctly. But yeah, no, she's going down to 125. Aspen Ladd can't even make 135. You know, I think just slow your roll. I get it. Miesha Tate is a good name to make your name off of, but you got to win one and you got to make weight. Like, until then, maybe just chill. Maybe just, you know.
All right. But then this is the thing with Aspen is that, like, and this is what I was talking about. If she doesn't fight Miesha Tate, who is she really fighting? You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
So
I mean, no, you're right. And with what I just said in mind, she is doing the right thing. Hey, we're talking about her. She is being talked about, and, you know, I think, yeah, like, you know, she played it right. It is what it is, and, you know, yeah, exposure is key, and if we're talking about her, she's doing the right thing. I just don't like that she's losing, and also she can't make weight. Like, I don't know, like, it's a tough couple of goes.
Losing is, but you should always be able to make weight. Like, you should know your body enough to be like, I can make this weight. Oh, I cannot make this weight. You know what I'm saying? So, I agree with you on that.
To the point where it's the day of, like, maybe then just call it. You don't have to do that kind of a weigh-in. You don't have to do that. Like, you weren't even close. Like, I don't know. But yeah. Moving on from Aspen, Kevin Holland, straight up fucking Batman, saves the day. There was going to be an open shooter in this place that had like 50 people, and him and 2 other guys wrestled this shooter down. I'm sorry I can't think of the names of the other people off the top of my head. But yeah, this motherfucker just keeps on saving the day. Yeah. What are your thoughts on
one of our latest podcasts, we talked about him, and someone asked me about him being Batman, and I said no, because he didn't have any grappling. Batman can grapple, and Kevin Holland cannot. Well, Kevin Holland successfully grappled a guy with a gun. So
Is he Batman?
I think you can call him Batman now.
Okay.
I think you can
All
call him
right.
Batman.
From the Batman guy who is a super fan, but has still not seen the movie that just came out. Okay,
I,
guys?
that's not against Batman. That's against movie theaters and people and, the also reviews. Also
I
reviews.
don't want to hear it.
It is kind of about the movie, but we'll see.
I don't want to hear it, but hey, you know what? Yeah, Kevin Holland, you are the Batman now. You just are. Like, it
Man,
is what it is. You know?
saved a lot of people that night.
Yeah. Watterson is dealing with a potentially career-threatening injury. Uh, yeah, she apparently had to pull out from her fight with Amanda Ribas, and she's saying that the injury that she has is like she might never fight again.
What if
We
she
don't know
broke?
what it is,
What if
but
she broke her leg?
was she what?
What if she snapped her leg?
I mean, possibly. Who knows? But I don't know. Again, the old generation is like coming into the new, so yeah, it's gonna be a really good fight. Uh, Moving on from that woman to the next, Kayla Harrison says she got a favorable PFL deal. Repeats that she is the highest paid ever. Um, I have a tough time believing this, but how do you feel about her and getting paid all this money and being in the PFL?
All right. What do you have a tough time believing? She might not be the highest paid female athlete, for sure. She's not. But she
Yeah.
might be the highest paid female MMA athlete.
No,
Anyways.
I don't think so. I think we're severely underestimating how much money Ronda Rousey made. Like,
That's fair. That's fair. Yeah.
she was pulling in Conor McGregor numbers. Like,
Yeah.
she was popular as fuck. Like popular as fuck for a minute. And she
Yeah.
was champion and she was getting pay-per-view points back then.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I don't know. I think that money just, whatever it is back then, especially now, I think, yeah, Ronda Rousey for sure got paid more. But, I mean, whatever.
I agree with that. Anyways, I think PFL is the right move. I right move in the sense that the only person she's really calling out is Chris Cyborg, and that
Right.
annoys me. That annoys me because she was not acting friendly. She was like, for the longest time on Twitter, she was just like, you know where I'm at, like blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And the tone that she was putting in her tweets was not a friendly tone.
Right.
She goes in the interview and I was like, all respect, Cyborg, everything's great. I would just really love the opportunity to fight you. It would be an honor.
Right.
Which one is it, dog? Which one is it? That being said, I'm glad that she's getting paid. I'm okay with her staying in PFL. For me, it's about getting paid. It's about getting money. So even if you get offered a UFC contract, but PFL is paying you more, if you get Bellator contract, but PFL is paying you more, it's more favorable. You got to do what you got to do, you know? That being said, stop calling out other fighters if that's what you pick. Stop calling out other fighters in other organizations that you could have been a part of and chose not to. Call out the fighters that are in your organization. Other than that, stay out the other people's comments. Stay out of all of that.
Yeah, and I think you hit the nail on the head. There is an asterisk to that, though, and that is that the PFL had a matching clause to her agreement.
Mm-hmm.
So she had signed an agreement saying that with the PFL first, that they had the right to match whatever was offered to her. And if they were able to match it, she had to accept or just, like then you have to retire because you have to accept our copy. You know, that is the right. That is our right. We match, and that's it. That's the
Kind of
end of the
fucked.
story.
That's kind of
And
fucked.
that's the clause that she had in her agreement, which that is what the PFL exercised. She had apparently a really good deal with Bellator, and then PFL had the right to match. They did. They probably added a little bit more in there. And she probably is getting paid a shit ton of fucking money. But Ronda Rousey was making bang. She was making bang. Like it is crazy how much money I think she was making back then, especially for a woman, especially for like one of the first women to like actually be out there like that. I
Yeah,
mean, we
yeah.
were talking about her boxing men. Joe Rogan was talking about that.
Mm-hmm.
Joe fucking Rogan was like seriously considering that Ronda Rousey would outbox Floyd Mayweather. Like that is crazy.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, so yeah, no, Ronda Rousey was making bank. I'm sure Kayla Harrison is set for life and everything. But with that in mind, shut the fuck up. You like it is what it is, but stop. Stop. And also pick a lane. If you're gonna be the bad guy, be a bad guy. If you're gonna be a good guy, fucking be the good guy. Be a face, or whatever the fuck.
Mm-hmm.
Turn heel, whatever wrestling, whatever
But you got to choose.
like
You got to
right,
choose.
figure it the fuck out. Um So yeah, despite providing fans with copious amounts of entertainment, Michael Chandler is 1-2 in the UFC, and he has just been announced to fight Tony Ferguson. Tony Ferguson is coming off of losses to Beneil Dariush, um, Justin Gaethje, and also Charles Oliveira. Um, you know how I feel about this. Juan, how do you feel about the matchup finally being set?
Uh, if you would have asked me, if you would have asked me that question a few years ago when Tony Ferguson was going off, I would say Tony Ferguson has it in the bag. You ask me now, I say it can go either way. I still think Tony Ferguson wins. That being okay. That being said, I still think Tony Ferguson wins,
Yeah,
but I think Chandler has a chance now that Tony Ferguson has aged a bit more, gotten a few hits on his chin, stuff like that. So I think it's an okay matchup. I'm definitely
right.
excited to watch the fight, 100%. But I wish that Tony Ferguson did not get screwed over by the UFC all those years ago. You know what I'm saying? So um,
Right.
I still got Tony Ferguson. It's going to be a bloody fight. People are going to bleed. It's going to be a good fight.
Yeah. And yeah. I think that people saying that Tony is washed, um, just haven't seen the fights. They just saw the clips where he's getting dominated, but there's a certain level to getting dominated but not getting finished. I mean, his arm was fucked up. Charles Oliveira was doing the exact same thing. Beneil Dariush was gonna he popped his knee and still no submission. So I just think that the thought that Michael Chandler is going to go out there and knock out Tony Ferguson, who was not even knocked out by Justin Gaethje, he was stopped by Herb Dean. I mean, rightly so, but he was stopped by Herb Dean. Um, you know, he doesn't get finished like that. And if we look at the two matchups that they had, which I'll repeat again, were Justin Gaethje and Charles Oliveira. Charles Oliveira knocked out Michael Chandler. Like, it is what it is. Tony Ferguson, on the other hand, went all 3 rounds. Justin Gaethje did fuck up Tony Ferguson, but he also fucked up Chandler. And if you looked at how bad he fucked up both, Tony Ferguson, I think, looked better. Yeah, it was bad, but he looked better. So if you base it off of the two tests we have, they are, I mean, just look at it like that, and then I think Tony Ferguson is at an advantage. Um,
Tony Ferguson has more durability, which goes a long way in a fight against Michael Chandler.
right. And I'm not saying that Michael Chandler cannot win against Tony Ferguson. If I'm being realistic, though, like, they are the same fighter, pretty much. They both go out there and are willing to take a fucking shot just to give you one. They're willing to take three. They will eat their shit whole in order to win the fight. But that's where Tony is just more durable. He will just not go away. So,
You're
I
not
don't
going
know.
to get by submission for sure. He's not going
Right.
to. So it's either knockout or decision. And again, Michael Chandler can catch him, but Tony Ferguson's very durable. I think he's got it in the bag.
Yeah. I think Tony Ferguson has it. I think he will be a dog in this fight. And if somebody can put a bet for me, I will give you half of the bet because I cannot gamble because I am in North Carolina. So
Yeah,
yeah,
so
I'll give somebody $50 and then yeah, just we'll share the winnings, okay, guys? Because that's gonna be a good fucking dog bet. But yeah,
is there
moving on.
have the odds been placed on that? No, because it just got announced. Yeah, yeah. Okay.
I'm sure there is. I'll try to look it up while we talk for the next thing. But yeah, on other announcements of fights, Robert Whitaker has been announced to fight Marvin Vettori. They are looking at fucking UFC 275 in June. Juan, who takes it and how? You were
Uh,
wrong about 170, by the way. You made
wait,
us look like fucking noobs.
what are you talking about?
Robert Whitaker fighting at 170.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. He did that to us. We,
Nah, nah, fool. Meatball, you believe him? Meatball doesn't believe you, bro.
that's fine.
But Meatball don't give a fuck. You see his chain, bro? You see his fucking chain,
All right.
bro? Don't give a fuck.
So I think Robert's gonna win by a knockout, probably. I think Marvin Vettori is a good fighter. I think he's probably a permanent number 3 or 4. This might be because I'm biased towards Robert Whitaker, but I don't see any way that Marvin can really win. I feel like Robert Whitaker's wrestling is way too well rounded. His movement is good. He did far better, I thought, against that fight against Izzy, his second fight, than he did his first fight. And his first fight, one of my big gripes with it was that he kept throwing the same combo, the 1-2 head kick combo, and that was my biggest gripe with that first Izzy and Whitaker fight. He kept throwing the same combo.
Gotcha.
Second fight is a little bit different, he was more into the fight, definitely in the second one. Robert Whitaker is always going to be, until he beats Izzy, he's always going to be a solid number 2. He's always going to be the number 2 in that weight class. Just like Colby Covington's the number 2 in welterweight. But he is. So against Marvin Vettori, I don't see any way that Marvin wins. Again,
No way.
No, I don't see. I think Robert Whitaker beats him in every single aspect. The wrestling maybe, but definitely in striking. In striking, Robert Whitaker has him hands down.
Yeah.
So again, no way I see it going out for Vettori. I think Robert Whitaker is just too well rounded.
Okay, I feel you.
Do you have more faith in Vettori?
No, I just think he looked really good against, beefed up Paulo Costa. He looked good at 205. I mean, I just think he might be relying a little bit too much on the weight. And and that's what I mean. It's not like being a weight bully. It's just like, yeah, you're bigger, but at what expense? Like 185 should be your fucking red line. That should be your fittest you've ever been. It shouldn't be, oh, I'm gonna try to cut down to 185 to that way I can balloon up to oh 07 or something overnight. You know what I mean? But I
Yeah,
don't. That's just my thought. That's why I think that Kobe Covington has the success that he has had at 170 because he has done it the healthy way. He has not really cut weight like that. That is his natural weight class. So I don't. Maybe I'm talking out of my ass, but I think that's the right move. Still though, you're right. I think Robert Whittaker does beat him. I think he does handily beat him.
yeah. I don't think it's gonna be a competitive. It might be a somewhat competitive, like 30% competitive match,
Yeah,
but it's not gonna be a terribly hard night for
yeah.
Robert.
Yeah, I picture a performance much like Izzy. Like
Hmm.
Marvin will go for the takedown, but Robert will be able to stuff it.
Hmm.
Like I just don't believe that Marvin's wrestling is to the point in his conditioning where he can chain wrestle like that at 185. But
Yeah,
I mean, it could be proven wrong. You're right. I mean, it could be a severe advantage. Who knows? But I don't trust it like that. Like enough to bet for him as a dog. I don't know about that.
yeah.
Moving on. Uh, Alex Pereira this weekend had an amazing fucking fight against Bruno Silva. Oh my God, Bruno Silva has a chin of granite. Did you
Hmm.
see that fight?
I did.
He calls out fucking Jared Cannonier after his fight win. He thinks that Israel Adesanya is gonna beat Jared Cannonier and he wants to fight him next. Man, he's gonna be a fucking problem. And if Izzy like beats up Jared Cannonier badly, I mean, that would be a right Jared Cannonier. He went through a war with Robert Whittaker. He might go to a war with Israel Adesanya, and then he gets Alex Pereira waiting for him. How do you feel about that matchup? If Jared Cannonier loses,
Well, I think it's safe to say that Jared Cannonier is getting paid the money that he wants to get paid. Maybe not like to the fullest extent, but
right?
with these fights coming up and how we're able to talk about Jared Cannonier way more often now, there ain't no way that Dana White isn't giving him, you know, finally some good money that he was complaining about. You know what I'm saying?
Got you.
That being said, though, money's great and all, but I think he gets caught by. I don't think he goes in a war against Izzy. I think he gets caught by Izzy. I think Izzy knocks him out. And then after that, because Alex is a more technical fighter and he comes from a very strict kickboxing background, and Jared Cannonier is more so a striker than a grappler, I think it goes towards Alex. I hate to. Jared Cannonier is not a bad fighter. I do not think he's a bad fighter.
Right.
But Alex comes from an extensive kickboxing background. So if I'm Jared Cannonier, I'm gonna focus on wrestling. I'm not really gonna be able to kick his legs out because he's faced anybody. How do I say this? Alex Pereira has fought against every single kind of style consistently, except for grappling. He has not
Right.
done it consistently. Kickboxing, though, he's faced regular boxers. He's faced great kickboxers. So the goal for Jared Cannonier, I think, is to wrestle him to death. That's easier said than done. We say that about so many fighters. Dominic Cruz, just all these other fighters who are very good with striking. We tell them, just take them down, you'll be all right.
Right.
And it's hard to do. So, I think Dana White is looking at this and is like rubbing his hands together, you know, like he's smiling.
Right.
Because if the Alex Pereira fight and the Izzy fight happens,
That's
money,
That's
money everywhere. It is fucking
Yeah.
raining on him.
Right.
So, yeah.
And if it does end up happening, if Alex Pereira ends up fighting like 2 more and getting 2 more wins, I'm gonna be super. I'm gonna bet for Alex Pereira if he's a dog against Izzy. Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
I mean, whoever is a dog, I will bet in that fight because I think it's gonna be a different tale possibly, but I don't know, and I'm super interested. It should be a coin flip, but whoever's dog, I will bet on for that fight.
My only issue with that fight is that I'm worried it's going to be a Yoel Izzy fight. Because I don't think Izzy is going to go at Alex like that. You know what I'm saying? I think he's going to be like, okay, let me try to catch this guy. Just like he always does, like with his other fighters. But I think Alex, because Alex knocked him out during their kickboxing days, I don't think Izzy's necessarily scared of him, but I think he is definitely very cautious. So I think it's going to be a very technical, depending on Alex Pereira's end, a boring match. We'll see what happens, though.
I mean, yeah, we'll see what happens, but I can't wait. Over the weekend, Ilia Topuria and what's his face? Fucking Patty the Batty got into it. Patty the Batty apparently was saying some scandalous shit about Georgians being stupid because they were taken over by the Russians. Ilia Topuria is Georgian, so is Murat Dwashvili. Yeah, you know what? I don't care. But also some people do. And he found out that, nothing even happened, so it's not like it means anything.
Yeah, obviously it doesn't affect me, the words that he said, but that being said, it's still a crappy thing to say about, because for those of you who don't know, which if you're following MMA, I'm this point I think you do know, but Georgia, the country, which Andy said earlier, was taken over by Russia, and people died there too. And I think for the same people who are disrespecting Ukraine right now, a very serious disrespectful Ukraine, not like comedians cracking jokes or whatever,
Yeah.
I don't think that's really disrespectful, but people who are really talking crap about Ukraine,
right?
It doesn't look good. So I was a big fan of Patty before this. I kind of hoping he loses now. That being said, I don't think Patty's as good as people think he is. His Cage Warrior days, it's not like he won, but it's not like he dominated everybody every single time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think Patty needs to chill. Maybe definitely don't disrespect a country where people have died due to a takeover. But I think it's also kind of weird that 6 people ganged up on one person. No one got hit. There was no strikes thrown or anything, just a sanitizer bottle getting thrown. Again, what Patty said doesn't affect me, but it does affect other people. So I was a big fan of Patty, but after that, I kind of hope he loses.
He has said other scandalous shit about Muslims, I believe, and something else too.
Don't know anything.
Patty, yeah, like if he's got receipts, I don't know, whatever. I guess I don't know, but yeah. Yeah, he's whack. And you're right. He's not that good of a fighter. I don't think it. I just agree with you. Like I not he is entertaining, but yeah,
He's not a
entertaining.
bad fighter. He's not a bad fighter.
Yeah, he's just not elite.
Yeah.
He literally said he is the second coming of Jesus Christ. Um, I mean, I don't know. After this one, hopefully we get him and Ilya Taporia if Ilya wins or loses. But yeah, that would be a very interesting matchup at 155, especially considering Taporia fights at 145, I believe. He is also fighting this weekend. Both of them are. Um, Khalil Roundtree this weekend got on, after the fight, he was very emotional, saying that,
Yeah.
it matters that, he had a very tough life, but he doesn't want to wait until he's champion to get his story out. He's writing a book about his struggles as a teen when he weighed apparently 300 pounds. He said he lost 100 pounds in 11 months. And he went on Ariel Helwani and talked about all of that and his father. Yeah. But did you see that post-fight interview?
I didn't watch all of it, but I saw like the little highlights of it, and then I saw what Sean Strickland said.
Yeah. So Sean Strickland is pretty much just like, that is the gayest shit I have ever seen. Sean Strickland just kind of sucks, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Um,
And
yeah.
like he's talking about like things being gay. Homie has literally said homosexual things towards Dana White. Well, talking to the media, talking about Dana White. You know what I'm saying? So like,
Yeah, didn't he say he would suck Dana White's dick?
something like that. Yeah. So like, I don't understand. That kind of makes me think that what he's saying, he's doing it simply because he wants people to talk about him. Which, I mean,
Yeah.
people's already talking about the crazy things he said. So says overall in general, if you watch it.
Yeah, but like not in a, I don't know, like not in a good way though. Like I don't know. It's
He's
just a,
definitely turning more and more heel, and he's embracing it more and more. It's like a slow path. He's saying wild stuff, but nothing really like insane. And then he says something insane, and then he attacks someone who's showing their emotion based off their own journey to get to where they were at. Again,
right.
I can't wait to see Sean Strickland get knocked out again, but I guess that's besides the point.
I mean, yeah. He was apparently on Facebook Live, and a woman tried to hit him with her car. But it's like this happens every week to you. Like, at what point are you Taylor Swift, and it's a you thing and not everybody else? You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
it's what you're projecting out into the universe. So.
Right. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Whatever. Sean Strickland, good job. But yeah, after the Alex Pereira fight, we had Terrence McKinney and Drew Dober. Holy shit. Terrence McKinney goes out there and tries to fuck up Drew Dober, but Drew Dober's chin is made of magnesium. It can't fucking crack. He ends up getting Homer Simpson, and Drew Dober ends up KOing him. Dude, what a boss for Terrence McKinney to take this on short notice, and Drew Dober in that chin. Holy fuck. What were your thoughts about that fight?
I thought when Drew fell up against the cage, I thought that was it. I thought I was going to get caught right there, and then he recovered very, very quickly. And next thing I knew, Terrence was on his butt. So, I was watching it with my friends, and I was like, I really hope Drew loses because Drew just looks like a bad guy. You know what I'm saying? Like he looks like the high school villain in high school drama shows. Like
Right.
he looks like the
He
villain.
looks like handsome Squidward.
Yeah,
If you Google handsome Squidward, that's what he looks like, but with hair.
So And then Terrence being who he is and coming from the background that he came from with his tragedy and everything like that. I was really hoping he would win. But at the end of the day, it was a very entertaining fight. No hate on Drew. I mean, he still looks like a villain, but that was a very exciting match. That was a very, very exciting. My jaw dropped.
But yeah, that fight was so fucking dope. But congratulations to Drew Dober. After that, we had Khalil Roundtree with the body kicker heard around the world. I thought I could go one of two ways with Khalil. I thought he was going to win and either be in the tough, technical, slow match, which he has been known to do, or he can be hyper fucking violent. And he went out there and he was fucking violent. He
Yeah.
fucking hit Carl Roberson like Carl Roberson owed him money. And he was like kicking him. He was like trying to stomp him and shit. I love that performance. What did you think about the performance, not the afterwards?
The body kick was nasty. I'm sure, like many people, I thought it was illegal at first, but it was just a body kick. And
no, it's body. Yeah, I thought it was illegal at first too, but I was like, oh no, that landed in the body. I just wanted to see what they had said because they might have a better look. But I was like, damn, that was close. But
who was the opponent in this one? Was it
Carl Roberson?
Yeah. The guy who I have in my head is a guy who is cheating and holding on to the gloves. But anyways, yeah, it was a good fight. I didn't have it for either person. Like, I didn't know who was going to win the fight. I did not expect a body kick like that, and I think for many people that is the highlight of the fight. It was very, I don't want to say impressive, but very entertaining. It was very, very entertaining.
Right. Yeah. Shout out to Khalil Roundtree. After that, Bruce Leroy Alex Caceres loses his 5-fight winning streak to Sadiq Youssef, who wins by decision. A very clear one, I thought. But yeah.
Yeah.
Did you see that fight? What did you think?
I did not expect to see how you pronounce his first name to win.
Sadiq Youssef.
Sadiq,
yeah.
I did not have him winning before I saw the fight. I did not expect him to win, but he gave a good fight, and he showed out. So good for him. I don't remember too much of that fight. I just remember it going the distance, right?
Right.
There was no big moments in that fight. I don't think that I can remember. What do you think?
Yeah, not really. It wasn't that terribly memorable. It was
dominating.
Right. It was just a good fight. But yeah. But shout out to Sadiq Youssef for just killing it. After that, Marlon Moraes gets knocked out by Song Yadong. Who would you like to see Song Yadong fight next? If Cheeto, Cheeto is signed to fight Rob Font now. Sean O'Malley?
I mean, that's fine. But I think Sean O'Malley should be fighting people. Sean's higher than him in rankings, isn't he? I think Sean should be fighting higher people. But I think Song, see, I don't know. See, Song's in a very, because didn't he just lose one of his previous fights? No. I'm thinking about. I mean, he did, but the guy that I'm thinking about
He
is the
did
guy.
lose to Cheeto,
Yeah.
but Cheeto won.
The
Or he won, but he lost to Cheeto.
yeah. The guy that I'm thinking about is the guy who lost to Chimaev in the first whenever Chimaev picked him
Oh,
up.
Li Jingliang.
Yeah. That's anyways, but
You're
Song.
racist.
Yeah, shut up. um, for Song, Sean O'Malley's fine for him, but I think Sean O'Malley needs to be fighting someone else. I think if he fights Sean O'Malley, I
Yeah,
think I think more people are gonna keep talking shit about Sean and being like, well, "Why don't you fight someone higher?" Blah blah blah.
right, right,
But that being said, who else would Song fight? You know what I'm saying?
right. Yeah, no, it's weird. He might be fighting the loser of, you know, Cheeto. Well, I don't know. I forgot what other big fights coming up for bantamweights, but I don't know. It's going to be a really tough call and a really tough fight. That dude is like 26,
Mm-hmm.
25, something like that.
Yeah, he's young. Yeah, he's stupid young.
He's crazy young. But yeah, off of the co-main event, we have the main event, the snooze fest. That was Thiago Santos against Ankalaev. I thought it was going to either be an Ankalaev finish or Thiago or Ankalaev decision. It was the latter. Yeah. Did you think it was going to go down the way it went down?
I'm sorry, I was grabbing my charger, so I was a little bit distracted. Can you say that one more time?
Thiago Santos against
Oh
Magomed
yeah. Okay,
Ankalaev.
so going into the fight, I told the friends I was watching it with, Tiago's going to be a boring fighter. This is going to be depending on the other fighter if this is going to be entertaining or not. I saw it. I guess I saw it coming. So Tiago, I think after he messed up his knees, I don't think he's scared of other fighters. I think he's scared of messing up his legs again. Cuz ripping an ACL and MCL once,
Oh no,
once
we lost Juan.
that can't happen twice. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
Can you hear
Um,
me now?
yeah, I can hear you now. It was just for a second. I get Thiago Santos.
Yeah.
I think he needs to
Those
just go
those
back
legs
down.
cannot get beat up twice.
Right. I think he either
Mm-hmm.
needs to go back down to 185 or maybe, yeah, just he's too tentative now. It's like after you lose to John Jones, it makes you want to like, okay, like I want to be smarter about this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Almost too bad. Like Johnny Walker, like he was trying to be reckless and he was and he got caught. But before that he was trying to be cautious and wasn't doing much. So
You
I
got to
think
find a
that's where
balance.
Thiago Santos is at.
What did you say?
Oh, I think that's where like Thiago Santos is at. Like he's a timid fighter now. Like he is changed after a war.
Well,
Um,
exactly. I think any of us would be timid if both our knees got blown
right,
out and then we finally healed and then we're going up against the same sized monsters. You know what I'm saying?
right.
Um, so I feel like in his leg, he's like, all it takes is one kick and my legs are gone. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
It was definitely a war. I think it scarred him. Um, we'll see what happens. I think I think that would be a very good pickup for Bellator.
Okay. Yeah. No, it would. Again, Eagle FC apparently is paying people a lot of money. So yeah, I mean, however he wants to go, I just think he has to figure something out, make a change, either go down a weight class or maybe, not be in the UFC anymore. All right, moving on. We have picks for the prelims and the main card. We'll go through this pretty quickly. Let's see what we got. We have... Okay, Nikita Krylov against Paul Craig. Who do you have?
Probably Paul Craig, but you could probably go either way.
You can go either way. I do have Paul Craig as well. Shamil Abdurakhimov against Sergey Pavlovich. Who do you have? They are 120-6. Sergey is 14-1.
I can't pronounce his name. The first guy you said.
Shamil?
Yeah. He probably gets it by knockout, but we'll see.
Oh, shit. Okay. Mike Grundy against Makwan Americani.
I don't have faces to those names.
Okay. I am picking Mike Grundy. I think.
Wait, Grundy. I do remember him.
Got you.
Say the second name again.
Makwan Americani.
Nothing.
Well, yeah, it is what it is. I got Mike Grundy. Moving on to the main card, Jai Herbert against Ilya Topuria.
Ilya.
All right. I have Ilya as well, but Jai Herbert can be a dog. After that, we have Molly McCann against Luana Carolina.
Don't know.
I think it'll be a close fight, but this is a winnable fight for Molly McCann, so I don't know. Gunnar Nelson makes his return against Takashi Sato. Who do you have in that
one? How long has Gunnar Nelson been out? Like 2 years?
Yeah, I think maybe longer than that. It was UFC London, so 3 years.
Yeah, not him. I don't know. Maybe.
I don't know.
Maybe. I don't. This is Ronda Rousey's husband, right?
No.
Who's that?
Travis
Brown?
Travis Brown.
Yeah.
Why did you get them confused? Racist.
I've done this multiple times. I've gotten them two confused multiple times.
I know, because you're racist.
Maybe. Yeah, I'm gonna go with him.
All right. It's a tough one. I got Gunnar Nelson though. His ground and pound is nasty. Paddy Pimblett against Rodrigo Vargas.
Probably Paddy, but hopefully not.
Same. Hopefully not, but I don't know enough about Rodrigo Vargas to say anything. He is 12-4 and Paddy is 17-3, so who knows? Next up, Arnold Allen and Dan Hooker. Dan Hooker making his return to 145. Who do you have?
145 is hard for Dan Hooker. He wasn't seeing a lot of success there. He saw way more success when he moved up. I'm still going to go with Dan Hooker. I think his knees and elbows are nasty. I think he's almost perfected his little right knee that he throws. He's very good with timing. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do Dan Hooker.
He has 17 pounds apparently to cut in the next 2 days, so that doesn't sound too bad though. I mean, it is more than 10, but he's done it enough.
Me personally, without like working out, with just dehydrating myself, I can lose 5 pounds in a day.
Right.
That's just dehydrating myself.
Right.
We'll see. We'll see how he looks when he weighs in.
All right. I think that will be the biggest tell if he is going to have success or not in the fight. But Arnold Allen, he is nasty. I have Arnold Allen, but I do think it could be a master class by Dan Hooker if he does win. I don't think it will be a boring fight either. I
It's
think it
not going to
will
be a
be.
boring fight, and I do think Dan has it if he's healthy on Friday. I love seeing his knockouts with his knees, and then his ground and pound elbow that against I can't think of the guy's name, but where he bloodied up that one guy. It was nasty. It was nasty.
I can't remember.
So it's definitely gonna be a very entertaining fight. This pay-per-view?
Nope. This is free and it is at 4 p.m. So that's the main card start, I believe, because of London nighttime or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah. All right, moving on to the main event, we have Alexander Volkov and Tom Aspinall going at it. Tom Aspinall is an underdog in this fight, and I think he is a live
Right.
dog. Who do you have?
Oh, definitely Tom. I haven't watched a lot of his interviews, so I don't know his personality like that.
Yeah,
But Tom is just from his Contender Series days, seeing those fights, and then he's going to be a problem for the division. Definitely a huge problem for the division. Um, I did see in the interview he said that he's not going in there with a game plan because that makes him feel like that gives him more stress, and he believes if he just goes in there and has fun, then he'll win. Which I can see that. Like for Thiago Santos, for example, it seemed like he was in that fight against John Jones having fun, and then he got, his shit wrecked by having fun, and then
yeah,
now he's turned into a more thoughtful fighter, and it's made him a lot more timid.
yeah.
So I think there's definitely a balance. I think he shouldn't go in there with no game plan, but we'll see what happens. I love seeing Tom fight regardless. He is a big dude, and seeing him knock out other monsters is beautiful.
Yeah, the way he does it makes it look so effortless. He is like a true heavyweight.
Go look up, Angel, if you're still watching, go look up Tom Aspinall knockouts on YouTube or
Yeah,
Instagram or something. Go watch it.
yeah. But yeah, anybody from the prelims that did not mention, I have Tom Aspinall in that fight as well.
Hmm. But as far as anyone you didn't mention, I'm not entirely sure. I haven't looked at the whole card. Um,
Okay.
but anyone you didn't mention probably doesn't matter.
Oh shit! Damn. All right. Well, then on that note, I do think this is one of our best episodes yet. Sorry Nina was not able to make it, but yeah. Juan, tell the people how they can reach us.
If you're watching this podcast, you already know how to reach us at Instagram. Our Twitter is no name MMA1. Our email is no name MMA show at gmail.com. Our YouTube is no name MMA show. Um, if you're watching anything from our YouTube, if you're listening to our podcast on Spotify or Apple or wherever else you're listening podcast from, make sure you leave a review. It helps us out a lot. Leave likes, subscribe, share our content. Anything helps. We appreciate it. Leave bad
Yeah.
reviews, leave good reviews. To me, it doesn't matter. I just want reviews.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. From me, Motivated Andy, and my co-host.
Ms. Daihuan.
Uh, thank you guys for letting us talk at you guys next week. As always, invest in your mental health and fuck you, John Jones.
Fuck John Jones.
Peace. And
Bye-bye.
Sean Strickland a little bit. He's kind of annoying now. Like, what's
And
up?
Patty, to be
Yeah,
honest.
Patty's just kind of a little whack, right?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Peace.